Two. How we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo! And this is another episode of YoHoops. I go through every NBA game every day. Today's Sunday, March 15th. We have a 7-game NBA card. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and let you know which sides I like, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite game in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. Recap yesterday. Tough day overall. I went 2-5 on the 7-game card. That's coming off of a 6-2 day, so it really balances out, but still hate to drop units. A lot of the games came down to the wire, like the Nuggets in OT, or the Sixers blowing a 20-point lead against the Nets, but I'll do my best to put us in a good position today. I posted my selection for the Thunder and Wolves game to the channel page. Make sure you guys check my posts if I don't have a video out early. In our first matchup of the afternoon, we have the Dallas Mavericks in Cleveland taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are minus 1,300 on the money line, and the total is 236.5. I've been high on Cleveland since acquiring James Harden, but I still don't know if I can blindly trust them to lay these big numbers. They're still the third worst team in the league against the spread. Tonight, Sam Merrill, Craig Porter, and Jared Allen are all ruled out. Then Jalen Tyson is listed as questionable with left ankle soreness. The Mavs are of course playing through injuries themselves, but with Cooper Flagg and Najee Marshall playing, they should be able to keep it within 15 points. I'm taking the Mavs plus a 15.5 as my first selection of the afternoon. Up next, we have the Detroit Pistons in Toronto taking on the Toronto Raptors. Pistons are minus 160 on the money line, and the total is 223.5. Overall, I would say this is a really even matchup. I would say Cade is the best player on the floor, but in my opinion, Toronto has more talent spread throughout the lineup. Between Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, and Scotty Barnes, a different guy is stepping up on any given night. This is a good test for Detroit. I'm not going to sit here and act like I expect them to get blown out, but personally, I can't trust guys like Tobias Harris and Duncan Robinson. I've been watching the NBA for a while, and one thing I know is these guys are inconsistent. They'll easily go 2 for 10 from the field, and that gives a team like Toronto chances to build momentum, especially at home. More one I'll be enjoying as a fan, but I do like the spot for the Raptors. I'm taking the Raptors plus a 3.5 as my next selection of the afternoon. Up next, we have the Indiana Pacers in Milwaukee taking on Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are minus 275 on the money line, and the total is 227. The Bucks come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from Atlanta back home to Milwaukee. Giannis ended up sitting last night, and as we expected, they got their asses kicked by the Hawks. The Pacers did show up in that last game against the Knicks, and I see a similar situation playing out tonight. It looks like they're manipulating the injury report again. Let me quickly walk you guys through it. Neesmith, Nembhard, McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Obi Toppin, Quentin Jackson, Siakam, and Zubac are all listed as questionable. Obviously, we have no idea who's actually going to end up playing, but even if half of the Pacers go, they should have a chance to win this one outright. Giannis is still banged up, and the Bucks are on no rest with travel. I'm taking the Pacers plus a 7 as my next selection of the afternoon. Up next, we have the Portland Trailblazers in Philadelphia taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Blazers are minus 320 on the money line, and the total is 228.5. The Sixers come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, but no travel as they remain at home. They were dominating the entire game against the Nets last night, then they completely fell apart in the fourth quarter. They were still able to come back and win the game, but they lost that fourth by 14 points. If I'm seeing tendencies like that against the Nets, I think they're in for a long night against Portland. Danny Advia is back in the lineup, and it looks like we might see Robert Williams playing, so that's even more presence on the glass. Philly's too banged up for me to even look in their direction. I see them losing it by margin. I'm taking the Blazers laying the 8 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Golden State Warriors in New York taking on New York Knicks. Knicks are minus 900 on the money line, and the total is 219. Recently, I haven't loved laying these big numbers with the Knicks, but tonight, I think it's warranted. The Warriors are playing through all types of injuries. Their only notable guys going are Brandon Podziemski and Pat Spencer. The Knicks are more or less at full strength, and I have to give them credit. They're the #1 home team in the league, 21-11 against the spread. Like I said, I'm not overly excited to do it, but with the Warriors this banged up, I have to roll in New York. I'm taking the Knicks laying the 14 as my next selection of the evening. Up next, we have the Utah Jazz in Sacramento taking on the Sacramento Kings. Kings are minus 150 on the money line, and the total is 233.5. The Kings come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back. Not much travel, but they do go from LA to Sacramento. They got the upset win over the Clippers last night, but that makes this game even tougher since everyone played over 30 minutes. We've talked about how well the Jazz have played at home, but they've also been on the rise as a road team. They're now 18-15 against the spread on the road. Utah is playing through a lot of injuries, so we're asking their second unit to step up, but against the Kings, that isn't a big ask. The Jazz have honestly played the better basketball all year. I personally see them winning this one outright. I'm taking Utah on the money line as my last and final selection. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We're coming off of a tough day yesterday, but still profiting on the month. I'm now 55, 49, and 3. Let's get right back in that win column tonight. I appreciate all the support so much. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo! And until the next one, I'ma catch y'all. Peace.